To an interview you will only see on Local 10 News, the fiance of a BSO deputy who died from the coronavirus is talking for the first time about the tragic death. Local 10 News reporter Ian Margol spoke with him exclusively about the beloved deputy and how the virus quickly went from bad to worse. Such a sad story, Ian.
Incredibly sad story. His fiance telling me that Deputy Shannon Bennett was in perfect health, had no underlying conditions when he got sick, and his fiance is saying his death should be another sign that this virus needs to be taken seriously.
He was my soulmate. I met him and he was taken at a time that I guess was his time.
Jonathan Frey is now forced to mourn the loss of his fiance, 39-year-old BSO deputy Shannon Bennett, one of the latest victims of COVID-19 in Broward County.
All he really had at first was just a fever. He had the fever and a slight headache. That was about a couple days before he went into the hospital.
Frey says Bennett eventually developed some breathing problems, so after consulting with a doctor over the phone, they drove to the ER, and that's the last time Frey says he ever got to see him.
Until something like this affects you directly, I don't think you really think about how much of an impact it's going to have.
Bennett was a 12-year veteran at BSO, a school resource officer at Deerfield Beach Elementary, and an openly gay deputy who worked closely with the LGBTQ community. His family tells us he loved his job and the students and staff he worked with at the school every day. And Frey hopes people take his death as a message to take this virus seriously.
And this is not the end of who he is. I care very much about him. He was the love of my life, and I know that his legacy is going to live on one way or another. He was a beautiful soul.
Jonathan was so unbelievably strong, speaking to us about his fiance, who is now gone. They got engaged only a few months ago at Walt Disney World, which I'm told was the deputy's favorite place. They were set to be married in December of this year. Live in Fort Lauderdale, I'm Ian Margol, Local 10 News.